Hey everybody, welcome back. Review a Day, episode number 186. I'm Leland, and thank you guys for joining me. I'm so glad you guys are here. So glad you found me. It's been an entire week since I've reviewed a film. I know, it's craziness. Do me a favor, head over to nitpicket.com. That's nitpicket.com. Maybe there's something right here. Episode number 42 of the Nitpicket podcast is out. We reviewed The Men Who Stare at Goats, which I reviewed a week ago. We also have a very lengthy discussion about the new Richard Kelly film, The Box. I'm hoping to do a review of this movie maybe in the next couple days. I had planned on doing that and The Fourth Kind and The House of the Devil. Shit happens, and I'm sorry I didn't get those reviews up, but check forward in the next couple days for some of the reviews I'm going to be doing. The review I'm doing for you guys today, though, is The Boat That Rocked, and this is the new film from Richard Curtis. Richard Curtis is the guy who I think most people, in the United States anyways, his films are what we equate with British movies. Love Actually, I believe he wrote Four Weddings and a Funeral, Notting Hill, Hugh Grant. It's what us Americans know as British films. He's got this new movie called The Pirate Radio. Not The Boat That Rocked, Pirate Radio. This movie was supposed to come out a while back under the name The Boat That Rocked, got pushed back, got a little cut down in time, and now it's Pirate Radio. Written and directed by Richard Curtis. If you haven't seen Four Weddings and a Funeral, do yourself a favor, one of my favorites. This movie, get ready for this, stars Bill Nighy, Kenneth Branagh, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Nick Frost, Chris O'Dowd, Katherine Parkinson, Rhys Darby, Jack Davenport, and January Jones of Mad Men. Woo! Jesus Christ, this movie really has a star-studded, especially if you're like a British comedy nerd. You've got Jack Davenport from Coupling, you've got Katherine Parkinson and Chris O'Dowd of the IT Crowd. Just fantastic actors across the board. Based on a true story about a pirate radio station offshore. Kenneth Branagh plays this really stuffy British guy who's trying to take him down. Whatever. The Boat That Rocked is not a perfect film by any stretch of the word. I mean, it's over 2 hours long. I think a lot of this movie, anytime this movie just became like, there's a central character who you kind of follow from the movie who's introduced on the boat in the beginning. And there's this storyline involving him trying to find his father that I really didn't give a shit about. It really wasn't all that developed or really handled that well. Maybe in the longer cut of this movie, some of the things I didn't necessarily think were super played out. I felt like they just kind of touched on them and then they moved along and they kind of focused more on the radio and stuff like that. There's a number of plots in this movie that involve Chris O'Dowd's character gets married and the woman leaves him. Our main character meets a girl and then she leaves him. And I didn't buy it and I didn't really care. But that said, I absolutely loved every single second of this movie just about. There are some really tired story things in this movie, I think, but with a cast like that, it's impossible for me not to love really every single second of this movie. You have Bill Nighy, who's the kind of leader of them all, who is absolutely terrific in everything I've ever seen him do. I would crack up watching that guy read the phone book. I've said that 1,000 times now. Kenneth Branagh is as the squarest of the square Brits. It is really a lot of fun. Jack Davenport plays his assistant, who literally is a twat. If you see this movie, you'll know what I mean. You combine that with, I think, some really great performances from actors like Chris O'Dowd and Katherine Parkinson, who I absolutely love on the IT Crowd. Nick Frost, who I adored in Spaced and Hot Fuzz. You have a lot of really great actors. Rhys Darby of Flight of the Conchords is another example. You have a bunch of just hilarious, really talented actors who I don't think get nearly enough time in the limelight, especially here in the States. You're getting to see them front and center in this movie, and the movie has a rock and roll spirit that you absolutely get swept up in. You have some talented actors, and you also have some of the best rock music ever written. This movie is a bit exhilarating, and it's very joyous, and you will feel like you're getting swept up. And more than anything, I wish this movie was a TV series. I wish I could see a television show set on this boat with the same actors. If I could get all these actors together on a television show, I would be creaming my pants. Sorry to be so blunt, but I really, really did love the cast. I think that's what you're looking for in this movie. Richard Curtis is a director who really knows how to handle a big ensemble cast of characters like this, and he does a really great job. I mean, if you're at all interested in seeing The Boat That Rocked, I really don't think you're going to be disappointed by this film. I give Pirate Radio, it is not The Boat That Rocked, I gotta get that out of my fucking head. I give Pirate Radio a 4 out of 5. Check it out. I really quite enjoyed it. Do me a favor, head over to dampercast.com or nitpickit.com. Check out my podcasts. I'll see you guys next time.